It's a Canadian coin.
It is tails.
All right, Mr. Morgan, you have the option.
Good gold tails. Yes, yes. We're going to be back here 50 years from now debating that. I defer.
Defer. Mr. Horrigan is not.
This is for my closing remarks.
Yes, it is.
5 minutes, sir. 5 minutes. I will not need 5 minutes, but I want to start by telling everybody here in Pottsville what a delightful time I have had in your city. I can tell you, I will be back. I will not fear for my life. I will not ask for an armed guard. I have had a delightful time here. The people have treated me with the utmost respect, and they have made me feel like a part of the family. I've met people that I have known, and I've met new people who I hope will be friends, former family members of teammates on the Maroons. It's been really a delightful 2 days for me.
Earlier in the debate, Mr. Horrigan, who again really does deserve our gratitude for coming here and keeping this alive and actually offering up what I consider the beginning of the Maroons debate. Because for 83 years, really the Maroons' full side of this debate hasn't been heard. So this story isn't 83 years old. It is now 1 day old, and we move forward from here. Because now it's a fair fight. Now we've been given the chance to tell our side, to show our facts, and to give our proof. And so don't think of this as 83 years old. Think of it as 1 day old, and it starts right now. But there have been a couple times during the debate that Mr. Horrigan made reference to Red Grange as being the guy who put the NFL on the map, as being a pillar of professional football. And I think it's interesting to note that the guy who played such an important role, and he did, but according to Mr. Horrigan, in establishing the NFL, was perhaps one of the Maroons' greatest boosters. You'll remember, he came and played in this game, in a game here in Pottsville. And he was promised $500. But after he was knocked unconscious twice, he said, forget the money, I'm getting out of Pottsville. But that beating haunted Red Grange, in a way, for the rest of his days. And every opportunity he had, he would tell people at banquets, when he was doing Bears games on the radio, just when he would meet people on the street. You want to know who the greatest NFL team was that I ever faced? The Pottsville Maroons. He said, and I quote, "The Pottsville Maroons were the most ferocious and most respected players I've ever faced in football. They must have kept those Pottsville players locked up from Monday to Sunday, then released them without being fed." "I have always believed," said Red Grange, "that the Pottsville Maroons won the 1925 NFL championship, but were robbed of the honor." And as we finish this debate, as I mentioned earlier, this is not about a small town's grab for glory. This is about the honor and legacy of 15 great men who helped elevate the NFL. And this is not about me. This is not about people wanting the attention. And it certainly isn't isolated in this room or in this town. Again, remember the people who have supported the Maroons. Red Grange, George Hallis, Paul Tagliabue, Art Rooney, Dan Rooney, Jeff Lurie, Joe Paterno. 2 governors, a NATO commander, and again, George W. Bush, the leader of the free world. And now, Mr. Horrigan, we want you on our side.
Always been there.
And the thing that I've most enjoyed about this debate is that I feel like you will help us continue to at least be heard, that there is some credence to what we have said, that the Maroons were the best team on the field, no question. They were granted what they thought was permission to play the game. There was no territory rule, and in some effects there still is no territory rule in the NFL, and the punishment did not fit the crime. That's our position as we move forward for the next 83 years, if need be.